Alrighty guys, so you know we bought that 84 first year Phazer over there, and we had the carburetors and took them out. We knew they were awful because we smelled the fuel in the tank and it maybe wanted to make you throw up. I know I wanted to throw up after smelling it, so took the bowls off. We bought a all balls carburetor rebuild kit. You can see the number right there. It's for the 84 to 85 Phazer PZ480, so that should be this model. I'm not sure if the carburetors are different, if they changed something in the early ones versus the late ones, so I made sure I got one that was for an 84 to 85. What we gotta do right off the bat is get these jets out. These Phazers, they have these rubber like plugs, and it's got a little notch. You can see there's a notch in the, kind of seems like a little bit of a notch in the, I don't know what you call that, the emulsion tube area. And basically that opening kind of faces that notch. So that's how I took them apart, that's how I'm gonna put them back together.
Is that good? 1080, 60?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
I was making sure it didn't mess up like so it looks different on YouTube or something.
There's some nasty stuff in here, guys. I'm gonna need a bigger flathead. Trying to get the main jet out here. Okay. Okay, I got something out here. Oh, that's the whole tube. And that is not looking so good. I mean, you can see through it, but it is not so good.
Seen better days for sure, guys.
So what I might do is I'll take the internals all out, put it in the ultrasonic, and boil them for a little while.
You want to fire up the ultrasonic? Or?
Honestly, not be a bad idea. So anyways, we got the ultrasonic fired up. There's the emulsion tube out of one. Try to get the other one out quick. I'm sure they're equally as nasty. I know this sled hasn't ran in probably 10 years, close to 10 years, and this one here is just as bad. And just the awful smell that's coming out of it is just terrible. Oh, I got it out. So I'm going to kind of keep track of how that was. I'll see what jet comes out of where, because they might be different sizes, guys. It's kind of how that works sometimes. I think they're pilot jets. They look like Mikuni pilot jets. This is going to be this might be a starter jet, was what they call it. I think this says 100 on it. I think this is what they call a starter jet. It's like a transition jet, I believe, between the pilot and the main circuit. I don't think you guys can look. I'm going to have Scully look at it too. There's no way it's going to focus on that, guys, but I think I'm going to have Sully take a look at it while he holds the camera here. I believe it says 100. It's a Mikuni jet. Looks just like a pilot jet. I want to say it's 100 on there, though. What do you see? 100? Next to the, it's got a Mikuni symbol, and then I think it's a 100. We'll see if this one here is similar.
Yeah, it's 100.
So this is the same position, and it looks like it's 100 as well.
Yeah, so 200.
And you can see through I mean, it's 100 main jet, or 100 jet size, so I'm guessing,
yeah,
it's not,
barely see through this.
It's pretty nasty. So those kind of came out we're going to make a little representation here.
Let me tell you, my hands smell like...
From the air cleaner side, that's going to be on the left side. So when we remember that for reassembly, from the air cleaner side on the left. Should we write that down? I don't have a Sharpie here. Got a pen though. Air cleaner, left, starter jet, ALS. So we got that marked. Now I got to try to get this other jet out. I think there's one. I want to say there's one down in here. I think. Unless there's not. There's nothing down here that's like an air bleed.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
Nothing in there?
I don't see any other jets.
And these got air screws up here.
Nice for tuning.
Technically, there'd be a pilot fuel screw because they're on the air or the intake side. I don't think I see anything in there.
No, I don't see anything either.
Man, it kind of looks.
Usually, you would see a head of a screw or something in there.
All right. Well, next we got to work on getting these floats out and the O-ring, the old O-rings here. I got a gnarled looking pick here. I'm gonna see if I can pick the
Pull the O-rings out.
bowl gasket out. It's gonna be a pain in the ass because obviously they've been sitting in there
crusting.
Oh,
Oh, see a little movement? Nice.
there we go. We just kind of split it.
Ew.
And we got that peeled out. I'll get the other one out. I mean, the Ultrasonic probably would have took them out and made them softer, but
Look at that. Definitely reuse that one, man.
yeah. So what I like to do with these, I take a little side cutters for these float pins. And I'll try to get on them, and I'll try to wiggle them if I can. And then I'll pull a little bit. I think we may have moved it, or I chopped into it.
I think we just give it a little tap with the pick in there.
Because I hate tapping on these guys, because they always, I've seen people break off the float arms. It's not really the most fun. Try to squeeze on it a little bit from back here. It's definitely a pain, guys, to do these. You could try this with the little needle nose. You know, it's just.
Definitely tight.
Oh yeah, she's tight.
Right.
Sometimes, guys, it's even good if we soak it. The electrolysis might break up from being stuck together for so long. And it's like, yeah, the float needles, they might be good, but with that amount of varnish in there, it's really a good idea to just get the hell out of the picture, you know, get them out of there. We might as well take the fuel screws out while we're in here.
Yeah.
We'll count the turns that they were in. Half, one. We can probably set them to 1.5. That's about how much.
Quarter they were at, right? About.
1.5. Yeah, 1.5. That's what I'll set them. You can see there was vacuum plugs for a primer system you can hook up on these. And these I don't think they have a O-ring or anything down in here. I think it's just a tapered screw, so don't really have to worry about too much there. We just take them out to get the passageway clean, set them down.
What do you say we get a pick and try to hammer?
And then the
those?
idle on these is obviously the big knob here. You have your Taurus system that on these you can just put that together and then plug your harness together and bypass it, because Yamaha had like, I don't know how many issues with that system on their machines, and the Phazers, the SRVs, the Exciters, they all got the same system and they all got problems. So it's my 2 cents on that subject. Oh.
I think we need to give them a little tap.
Oh.
I don't think I moved it all.
Alright guys, I might just take my luck in boiling them first, just to see if it'll break up the electrolysis a little bit, and it might loosen them up a bit. I'm going to take the carburetor kit apart and see what we all got in here, just to make sure everything kind of adds up. This is one of those cheap, this was actually like a $40 carburetor kit though, guys. This wasn't very cheap. Usually the carburetor kits you get are like, I don't know, $15. So I can see they got the seats in here, which is good. Looks like we got our new bowl gaskets. I'll dump out all the contents there. So we got new air screws. Let's see what this jet looks like. It's a 95, it looks like. 95. Here's the other one. It says 95 on those. So we might end up having to clean. I don't know why they would have 100 in there. I'll look up the stock jetting to compare. Here's the new needle seats. Here's going to be the O-ring that goes on the needle seat. And these are going to be for the bottom bowl nut. And obviously these are the main jet, I think.
What do you got for number on that?
Did we take out any jets like these? No, we didn't.
Yeah.
This is a 143.8. Really weird size. I think there's actually a jet. Is there another one up in there? I can't remember on these. It's been a while since I've taken one of these Phazer carbs apart. I couldn't remember if there's one in the side or if there's one underneath there. It has those in the kit as well. This could be a universal kit for something else too. But I'll go ahead and check to see if there's anything down inside the tube here. Looks pretty clean to me. It just looks like there's a center tube in there. So I think we'll just take our luck with boiling them. Alrighty guys, so here's the carbs with minus the floats. We got them out. A little note, these float pins on this particular one has a square end. Do not hammer the square end into the float pin, or the float arm. It won't go so well.
Yeah, so when you're holding it up, one of them will kind of be kind of a peckerhead because, you know, you got to fight. We used a a punch and a hammer, nice long punch. And you just get on the top and
Basically, if you tap it till it's flush with the float arm, you
Then
got it
grab
out.
it. We grabbed it with the pliers and then the side cutters, and that works too. That's
I took it in my ultrasonic and I soaked it for about 10 minutes, and that kind of freed it up real nice, and it came out. And we gotta get all this varnish out now.
Yellow green varnish tint to it.
So we gotta clean out all that nasty crap.
Yep. So send her back in the ultrasonic. Is that thing still fired up?
Oh yeah, she's nice and warm. And then we gotta just basically clean out all the
And you can
passages.
see in by where, you know, your what is it called? The
Air bleeds.
Air bleeds. Yep. That's all kind of gunky.
Nice thing to do, guys, too, is if you can find something like a little.
Something to pry open the
If you keep
throttle.
the float, if you can keep the float or the throttle plate open too, that always helps. I don't have.
You want like a little screwdriver?
I don't seem to have. I
You wanna
maybe
put the
stuff,
pick in there?
I can probably stuff one.
Can you
of
put this
these.
pick in there
Sure.
underneath it?
I'll put it on top of this top side.
Can you like, let it off a little bit?
Yeah, let go. There you go. So you guys can do that too. That helps a lot, depending on how big your ultrasonic is. Ours is obviously not that big, so.
All right.
Put it in about like that. That lets everything kind of soak. There's a little bitty hole sometimes on the internal of the throttle. I guess the venturi and the body of the carb. So keeping the throttle plates open a little bit always helps.
And it could be kind of sticking at the top too.
Yep.
Get a little bit of gunk on there.
So yeah, we're gonna soak the piss out of this thing, and then we gotta basically take brake clean and spray through every single passage. Make sure that inlet
Through the air
is
bleeds.
clean. We'll put new seats in. We gotta make sure one of these floats had a little bit of damage. We'll have to
that
examine one of them and make sure they float. I'm not sure which. We gotta make sure they
we'll
float.
Get a little bucket of water.
And
and
if
see
we
they
have to, we'll
float.
put a little bit of JB weld on it,
Yep.
and we'll just lightly film, a light film of it, and we should be good.
Just so it doesn't weigh it down.
So we're gonna
All right.
float these.
We're gonna drop these in the ultrasonic, guys. So this is the Harbor Freight ultrasonic.
Yeah. Yep. Basically, you can just set your timer, turn her on, and away you go.
Drop her in.
Alrighty, guys. So for the main jets, we thought we couldn't find them. Well, I forgot that we had the bowls in another location with the 17mm jet adapter, and the main jet's actually in the center. And we got the stock jetting was 143.8 and 95 pilot, which is what the kit came with. So we're gonna put that stuff in. So that's all figured out. The
But
bowls
they-
are really nasty.
Yep.
We took a nice Scotch-Brite and some brake clean, cleaned them up real nice and shiny. No more varnish.
Yep.
So that's good.
And then the website we looked at said that you can run anywhere from a 135 up to pretty much a 145, and you'll be all right
Yeah.
on the main. And then the pilot, they said if you have a pipe, go to like 110 or
Yep.
100 for stock or 95 for stock.
And then the floats guys they didn't leak. We tested them, but I put a little bit of JB weld, just a little bit on
just
the
a
floats.
little touch.
Very, very thin amount.
Yep.
You don't want to make the float any wider because it could contact the bowl and get stuck. So we kind of put the bare minimum just to fill it in. It didn't seem to leak when we tested them, but just as a preventative maintenance, I'm going to do that. Let it harden up. This is going to end of part 1. In part 2, we'll finalize cleaning out the bodies of the carbs and then start putting the jets, the inlet needle seats, and everything back together with the new bowl gaskets and button everything up and show you guys the finalized product. But this is going to be part 1. Make sure you guys stick around for part 2, and hopefully this is helping you rebuild your Yamaha Phazer carburetors.